Shooter games. Ever since the 2000s, these games have been everywhere. Halo, Call of Duty, Gears of War. I could go on, but I think you get the point. Nintendo has always avoided this genre. Well, okay, that's not entirely true. Nintendo's never developed a shooter game before. They usually let that to second-party developers like Retro Studios who developed the Metroid Prime trilogy, or third-party developers. But in E3 2014, that all changed when Nintendo announced a new IP called Splatoon. It looked unique. It was a third-person shooter, but instead of shooting bullets, they would shoot ink. You also play as kids who could turn into squids. Nintendo was determined to show off Splatoon, so much so that they promised a free update for the game a few months after launch, which added some new modes, new weapons, etc. After all, the Wii U desperately needs some hits due to its fledgling sales. Did it work? Well, yes, Splatoon sold very well, over 1 million units for the Wii U alone, so much so that a sequel for the Nintendo Switch called Splatoon 2 will be launching this summer. So with that time spent, I figured it was now or never to review the original. So over the period of a few days, I decided to play the original game. I had barely touched the game. I didn't even go through story mode, but first, let's start with the controls. You play as an Inkling. You move around, and with the press of the ZL button, you turn into a squid, which you can use to ride the ink. This can actually get very fun. Whee! It's like going down a slide. Shooting ink is very fun too. You just press the ZR button. You can use the gamepad's motion controls to aim, which is the form I find myself using because it feels very natural to me. If you don't like it, you can just turn it off if you so feel. You'll need to scale walls and slopes with ink, so that's when you turn into a squid and recharge your ink. So overall, the controls are nice and responsive. First off, you always get introductions with Carrie and Marie, these two Inklings that update you on the progress of the game and what levels are available to play at the time of day. They're rather entertaining while providing witty dialogue. So Splatoon has a hub world named Inkopolis, which you can use to access the various modes of the game. It's not much, it's just one area, but all the buildings are available with various Inklings running around who often post various interesting things. Kanye West for President 2020. Yeah, no. Just no. Of course, you don't necessarily need to access them through the hub world. They're available to access through the touch of a button on the Wii U gamepad. So that's quick customization. I suppose I'll talk real quick about the shops. First up is the weapons shop. You unlock extra weapons as you level up. This does add a sense of progression to the game. You have various choices. You can get a brush, a roller, or my personal favorite, a gun that looks just like the NES Power Zapper, and you unlock more powerful versions of these weapons the higher up you get. Next is the clothing shop. You can equip various pieces of clothing to your Inkling, be they sweaters, hats, or shoes. My Inkling looks quite stylish if I do say so myself. Each clothing has various added benefits like damage increase or ink recharge, so there's no shortage of things to run out of. After using your weapon for a large number of times without dying, you can charge up a super attack, which basically includes a shield bubble or a large paint geyser. I do wish they weren't locked to a specific weapon. It would be nice to be able to pick your special ability. It would add some more customization to the game. Next, let's talk about the story mode. You play as Agent 3, with Captain Cuttlefish charging you with rescuing the Zapfish from the Inkling's archenemy, the Octarians. There are a total of 5 worlds, but you have to find the levels by painting them with ink. They're fairly easy to find, and the levels are not particularly challenging. You basically make your way through the levels, defeating the Octarians and coming across various platforming challenges, be they uncovering hidden pathways or by launching yourself onto these launch pads. At the end of each world, you fight a boss battle. They're not too particularly challenging since they just involve spraying the tentacles with your ink to destroy it, but they're very creative, I must say. There's also some notes that you can find that uncover more information about the world the Inklings inhabit. Apparently it takes place thousands of years after the end of humanity, and the Inklings are the race that appeared after the extinction of all mammals. Fascinating. If this is what the world is like after the end of humanity, sign me up. Gotta be better than what's currently going on in the world. Story mode is just a short little 5-hour mode that kills some time, and it does its job well. But what you're really going to be playing Splatoon for is the online mode. For starters, you can only play through Turf War, which basically means cover the entire stage in your color of ink more than the other team. You know, now that I think about it, this game is the anti-Super Mario Sunshine. I mean, in Mario Sunshine, Mario had to clean up the island from all the paint that was splattered all over, whereas in this game, your goal is to cover the ground in as much ink as possible. Who knew a game that promotes anti-environmentalism could be so much fun? I kid. So yeah, not much variety in this game, but it's fun as all hell. The experience and money you get is invaluable, as you'll need it if you want to unlock better weapons and equipment. so it's easy to get, which is a good thing. Once you reach level 10, you get to unlock ranked battles, which basically has more variety, but you are ranked with levels, with C- being the lowest. First up is Splat Zones, which is basically your team has to fill in the zones. There's Tower Control, which is about moving the tower to the opponent's side of the field. I actually got into a pretty good overtime victory in this mode. I managed to get on top of my tower as time expired, permitting the game to go into overtime when that happened. I managed to go past the opposing team's line, and thus my team won by a single point. It was quite satisfying. I find here is a good opportunity to make use of the super jump, which lets your Inkling teleport all the way across the stage at a super fast pace. Finally, there's Rainmaker, which lets you wield a giant gun that lets you take out anything in your path. These ranked modes were added to the game later through the free update in August 2015. Now, Splatoon doesn't have voice chat, and considering that this is a game for the younger audience, I suppose there's nothing lost. You ever go on Halo? You should hear what some of the people have to say. It's so annoying, and if I really want to chat with my friends, that's what the phone is for, or even just old playing the game on the couch with your friends. Yeah, couch gaming isn't dead despite what some people think. When did that idea of simple convenience become obsolete? I did hear that Nintendo has some kind of voice chat function for Switch, but I'm not sure if it's ideal. More on that another time. There was also Splat Fest, which I can't show you of because they are long since no more, but they had some pretty good options, like cats versus dogs, Autobots versus Decepticons, and even pirates versus ninjas. If you really want to see footage of those, you can find them on YouTube. There is amiibo support, which I can't show you because I don't own any of the Splatoon amiibos. Oh well, no big loss. So overall, Splatoon is a fun game. It's easy to pick up and play, and anyone can enjoy it of all ages. It's a fun time with friends and playing competitive multiplayer online. I can't wait for Splatoon 2. As for me, I've got some unfinished business with Metal Gear. I'll be playing Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance next week. Yeah, that's not even a word, but hey, Platinum Games developed this, so I'm in for something good, right? That's all for now. This is RetrospectGreg signing off. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more. Have a fantastic day, and until next time, stay fresh!